How many quilts do you think you've made?
Oh my gosh.
And are they all like big, or are they like you made baby ones?
Well, I can. This quilt that I'm showing you now is the last small quilt I ever made, and it turns out that I am genetically incapable of making small quilts because this quilt, while it doesn't look like it, it's broken. It didn't work. It didn't work out properly. Notice there are no points on the stars.
It's an outrage, you guys. I can't tell you. Oh, did you? So okay,
it somehow shrunk.
It somehow so. Oh, there's another question I have. Do you wash the fabric before you sew it?
Oh wow, that's a
question, right?
It is a question, and you will get a different answer from every single quilter on the planet. I used to wash every single piece of fabric that I brought into the house, and
then dry it so that it would be its size,
knotted mess, and then I stopped. There are different qualities. Quilters generally work in 100% cotton. Mm-hmm. There's also flannel. A lot of people work in flannel, especially for children's quilts.
Okay.
Some work in add silk. There are some amazing silk tie quilts. That are, yes, where people have taken old silk ties and made these beautiful, beautiful quilts out of them. But cotton is the most sturdy, and that being said, there's different qualities of cotton.
Okay. As thread count? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, the weave, the tightness of the weave.
Okay.
Yes, and some of them can be very, very loose, almost see-through, and those I would wash immediately to hopefully tighten them up. And others, the dyes may run. So that would be a smart thing to do, is to wash it and make sure that the dye, so that it doesn't.
Color.
Yeah, and reds are traditionally a very hard dye to set. So if I find a really good red, I might wash that as well, just to make sure that, especially if I'm using it with white, that it doesn't bleed. And as fabric making has moved around the world, because once upon a time, and don't ask me, I don't know the history of it, I'm sure some of these dyes were toxic as hell.
Oh, right.
And so most fabric, as far as I understand and know, not made in America anymore because of our rules and regulations regarding
the safety of dyes
and waste and stuff like that. So as it's moved to other countries, the quality has gone up and down and changed in...
the politest term.
Yes. That being said, America, as far as the last time I heard a stat, is one of the largest fabric buying countries.
Okay.
And quilting is a very big reason for that. And also the home clothing making industry, right?
Oh, right.
So, we do use and utilize a lot of fabric in this country. So, I tend to not wash the fabric unless I feel that I need to wash it for my own purposes in terms of, runny dye or a very thin weave.
Okay.
Now, most of my quilts I make to hang on a wall. So I don't want you to wash that quilt. I want you to hang it up. I want you to shake it out once a year, take it out in the sunlight, lay it on the grass so the chlorophyll can, take any musty smell away. But if you put my quilt, which I consider art, on your bed and your dog jumps on it, I'm not going to like you very much.
Are you making tapestries? Are you making ancient tapestries that you would like hung in a Scottish castle?
Pretty much, right? Now, that being said, a lot of baby quilts, things like that. Yes, I would wash all the fabric and then I would go ahead and make that quilt with the knowledge that thing's going to get washed 1,000 times.
Because there's going to be a baby involved. I hope it's going to get washed 1,000 times.
And anytime a quilt goes to a child or a young person, absolutely, I expect it to get thrown in the wash. And I make it accordingly so that it can be thrown in the wash.
Oh,